Football, the world's most popular sport. Billions watch it, millions play it, and entire nations stop when the big games happen. But here's the big question. Why does it seem like men are way more obsessed with football than women? From fan culture to participation rates, the stereotype is everywhere. Men glued to the screen, women rolling their eyes. But is it biology, culture, history, or just a myth that's slowly breaking down? Today we're kicking off a deep dive into why men have traditionally been more obsessed with football and why the gap may not be as big as it looks. First, let's check the stats. According to FIFA surveys, around 70 to 80% of men worldwide describe themselves as football fans, compared to 40 to 50% of women. In participation, it's even clearer. About 265 million players worldwide, but roughly 75% are male. TV ratings for the World Cup are still higher in men's than women's, though the women's numbers are growing fast. So, yes, statistically, men engage football more. But why? One explanation comes from evolutionary psychology. Humans evolved in hunter gatherer tribes. Men were more often hunters, requiring a teamwork, strategy, and physical competition. Football, some science argue, taps into those same instincts. For example, like the territory battles, where defending your goal must be similar to defending your tribe, and also scoring goals is similar to providing strength to your tribe. But it's not just about evolutionary psychology, since there is also biology. Testosterone is linked to risk taking and competitive aggression. Studies show men's testosterone spikes when their team wins and drops when they lose. Women experience this too, but on average, less intensely. So, in one sense, football may be like a modern ritual where men unconsciously reenact ancient survival dynamics. But culture matters too. When modern football took off in the 19th century, it was dominated by men. Industrial workers, soldiers, and schools all used football as a male bonding ritual. Women played too. In fact, women's football boomed in England during the World War I, drawing crowds of 50,000 people. But in 1921, the English FA banned women from playing on official pitches, calling the sport unsuitable for females. That stigma lasted decades. Meanwhile, men's football became the centerpiece of national identity, from Brazil to Italy to Nigeria. Entire cultures wrapped masculinity around football. Here's where things get interesting. The gap is shrinking. The 2019 Women's World Cup final had over 1 billion viewers worldwide. In countries like US, Canada, and Sweden, women's football is hugely popular. Girls' academies and leagues are expanding globally, and role models like Megan Rapion, Alexia Putellas, or Marta inspire millions. So, while historically football was framed as a male obsession, that narrative is collapsing. In some countries, teenage girls are now just as likely to play football as boys. The truth might not be that men love football more, it might just be that women were excluded for decades and now they are catching up fast. Anyway, there is one angle we cannot ignore. For many men, football is tied to masculinity itself. Sociologists argue that football fandom lets men express emotion in a socially acceptable way. They can cry, hug, scream, and feel passion, things men are often discouraged from doing elsewhere. In that sense, football is not just sport, it's therapy, it's ritual, it's where men are allowed to be emotional without judgment. For women, culture has not always linked identity and gender roles to football in the same way, though that too is changing. So maybe the real question isn't why do men love football more, but why weren't women allowed to love it just as much? Because when you look at the data, the history, and the culture, the answer isn't that women don't care, it's that they were not given the same opportunities. Now, here's my question for you. Do you think football fandom will ever be 50-50 between women and women? Or it will always lean male because of biology and culture? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more deep dives into sports, science, and society.